Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Skip, aka Skip and Tosh here of the Sacktown Breakdown, and we got ourselves another W. Finally snapped the 4-game losing streak. Kings beat the Portland Trailblazers 121 to 125. Alvin Gentry gets his first W as the Sacramento Kings head coach. And we breathe a little sigh of relief. Oh my gosh. We're going to talk about it because there's a lot of melancholy. There's a lot of happy sadness, sad happiness going on with this. If y'all don't know how to feel about it, I'll definitely tell you how I feel about it as a Kings fan that has experienced this type of behavior a lot. And I'm sure you're one of those Kings fans too that have. And if you're a newer Kings fan, let us set you straight so you do not set yourself up for disappointment. Again, my name is Skip, aka Skip and Tosh here of the Sacktown Breakdown. We break down Sacramento Kings game recaps, Sacramento Kings, late breaking news. We talk about the Stockton Kings at times, and then the Kings Guard Gaming, Sacramento Kings NBA 2K professional gaming team. You see this shirt right here if you're watching us on YouTube. As well as sometimes us being live on twitch.tv/Sacktown Breakdown. If you're one of the loyal podcast listeners who listens to the audio only, we appreciate y'all as well. We are on all the major platforms that you would expect. Apple Podcasts, we are on Google Play Store, various other outlets. So just search us up and you should be able to find us there. But we appreciate all of y'all tuning in any capacity. Before we get started, always a bit of housekeeping. 'Tis the season to be jolly, to be generous. And if you are in the need of a office chair, a gaming chair, if you know a gamer in your life or a business professional or just someone who's been sitting in a crusty old chair that you hate looking at every time you go visit them and you tell them they need to get a new one and they say it's comfortable and it's broken in and they like it, hook them up with the Taboo Ohana chair, please. Up to 45% off select chairs right now. Also, if you put my discount code in SKIPTC, get yourself an additional $40 off of that. So those savings go beyond 45%. We're talking about chairs at 50% or more off at this point. So taboohana.com, TABUOHANA.com. Put in my discount code SKIPTC. Get yourself or that gamer in your life or that business professional in your life a big discount. You see the chair that I'm in right now. If you're watching us right now, like I said, nice leather. Got some, what is this, suede? Some suede on the head. All I know is that the back of my head feels more pleasurable to touch now than it did before I got this chair. And you can guarantee it. Taboo Ohana, don't apologize. Be yourself. Also, okay, I gotta remember every direction that I want to point, I gotta point the opposite direction. Computer Booter here in Sacramento, California, Carmichael, California to be exact. If you're looking for a gaming lounge, repair shop, a gift shop for that gamer in your life. Again, retro games, modern day games. If you need a console repaired, you got a PC or a Mac that might need some repair. March down there, go see Dave. He's an awesome guy. Super wise, very kind, and or even if you're looking for gaming tournaments and stuff like that, they throw those down there. I used to play Super Smash Brothers competitively all the time. Every week, I'd be up in there just having a blast. Computer Booter, that's my spot. Make sure you go see them as well. Now, here we are. We're diving in to this Sacramento Kings W that I have the pleasure of reporting to you right here. And this was an interesting game. It was a fun game to watch. It was good to see the Kings team continue this up-tempo offense that Alvin Gentry has them playing. We're going to take a look at a few different things and see where the Kings land now and some of those things. But I think a 5-game sample size, is going to be more sufficient to see where the pace is at now, especially like a 10-game sample size will really show us. But Portland started off hot, 36 points in the first quarter. Kings not far behind with 32. A 32-point quarter is something that's acceptable to me. Even if we don't win the quarter, I need to see us put up at least 30, especially in an up-tempo offense. That's a signifier that we're getting the amount of shots up that Alvin Gentry would like to see us get up in total, and that's part of the whole point of an up-tempo offense is more opportunities to make more buckets to outscore the other team. And also do not let the other team settle into their defense so easily. You get to them before they have time to settle. Puts them more on their heels. Gives you a better opportunity to find a better shot and get that thing up, and then get back down on another court. Try to make them take a difficult shot. 35 points in the second quarter for Portland. We won that one. 37 points for the Kings. 21 points only for Portland in the third, but only 24 for us. We did outscore them. And then finally in the fourth quarter, we did not have, I would still say we had third quarter woes because it's only 24 points, but no fourth quarter woes this game. 29 points for the Kings. 29 points for Portland, 32 points for the Sacramento Kings, totaling that 121 Portland, 125 W for the Sacramento Kings. Points in the paint, we had 60, they had 58. Another thing to point out is points off a turnover. They had 19, we had 13, so that was not a strong point for us. We did not capitalize enough off of the turnovers, but the game did have 10 lead changes and 11 ties. Let's go over and look at the box score. Only going to look at a few people from Portland and go straight to Sacramento. We got Norman Powell, who had 35 minutes. He had 22 points, so that was very notable for him. We'll talk about Robert Covington, who played 15 minutes and did start, but was ultimately ejected due to him being outraged and tossing his face mask. I know he didn't intentionally throw it at the refs, but he threw it in the direction of the referee, and it did end up hitting the referee on his leg. No injury, but still, that is an automatic ejection, and he was ejected. Jusuf Nurkic had a good game, 31 minutes, put up 17 rebounds and 28 points. It feels like just about every big on the opposing team is an opportunity for them to have a double-double against us. CJ McCollum had a low-scoring game, 13 points for him. That's uncharacteristic. He only hit one of his 6 3-pointers, and that's the biggest reason that kept him from being so inefficient and only helping out so much. And then Dame Lillard had 32 points, typical of Dame, although he only shot 3 of 12 from 3. So he shot 25% from 3. CJ shot 16%, both uncharacteristic for them. Nasir Little, though, did have a big game for them. A lot of impact buckets, a lot of tough buckets, even some good defense. Had a really nice block on Damian Jones down the end of the game, which initially was called for a foul, but ultimately got reversed and ended up being a jump ball because it was ruled as a clean block after a successful coach's challenge that Luke Walton was very terrible at, but he is also kicking rocks currently somewhere outside of the Sacramento County. Nasir Little, though, again, 16 points, 66.7% from 3. He hit 2 of his 3 threes. Let's go to the Sacramento Kings, talk about us. Harrison Barnes, not a great game for Harrison, but a sufficient game, and he did help with us securing the W. Another low-scoring three-point percentage game for him, and not getting up enough of them, too. Only 3 3-point attempts. Luke wanted him shooting 8. From what I hear, Alvin Gentry wants him shooting between 8 and 10 a game. He only put up 3 and only hit 1, so his three-point percentage was low at 33%, but he did score 13 points, and he only had 3 rebounds, unfortunately, 1 assist. Mo Harkless started this game at the forward spot. He actually had a good scoring game. Mo Harkless, I think this is his highest scoring game of the season probably so far, 12. He only hit 1 3, but it was probably my favorite play of the whole entire game. It was another one of those penetrate, get it to the man in the paint. The man in the paint swings it to the guy in the corner, and that guy in the corner was Mo Harkless, and he knocked that thing down. It was a sweet looking play, but he didn't hit anymore. So he's 25% from 3. Alex Len started at the center spot because currently Rashawn Holmes is out with like an eye condition. He ain't gotten poked in the eye and had some issues with his contact before. Apparently his eye is still on the mend. So Alex Len started for us, played 17 minutes, had 12 points, only had 3 rebounds though. But he did shoot a 3 and he shot 50% from 3 because he made 1, missed 1. Darren Fox, 27 minutes, had 1 of 3 from 3, but he only shot 3 of them. He's still staying in that because this is helping his 3-point percentage come up. Remember, he is like at 25% or 26% from 3 right now. So when he only shoots 3 and he only makes 1, that's 33%. That's going to bring his 3-point percentage up for the season. Although free throws, he was 100% from the line. He made all of his throws. That's an important thing for us as we are monitoring Fox's shooting. Not so much from the mid-range, because if you watch enough, he's got a nice mid-range jumper. But it's that three-point percentage and that free throw percentage that as a point guard, we need to see him increase in order for us to begin to have sustainable wins, as he is the head of this snake. So good job, Fox. He had 6 assists, so I'm going to say that's pretty solid. Had 5 turnovers, but with the up-tempo offense and him being the primary ball handler, I would like to see it closer to around 4, 5. I don't like, but I can say that's acceptable. Had 21 points, so not a high-scoring game for Fox, but 21 is sufficient. I'd like to see it at 24 and up. 21 is sufficient. Tristan Thompson came in, had 12 minutes. He ended up with 8 rebounds. Thank you for that, Tristan. Only 4 points, but came in, brought the energy. It was exactly what the team needed. Tyrese Halliburton, I accidentally skipped over. 32 minutes. He was 1 of 6 from 3, which brings his 3-point percentage down to 16%. Ouchie, that thing is steadily declining. Missed a free throw. That puts him at 50%. Ouchie, that's going to hit your numbers. He and Fox both shared 6 assists, so that's good. 6 assists for Tyrese. He had 3 steals. We love to see that. Only 2 turnovers, so handling the ball well, but all of that, he's ended up scoring 6 points. Again, that's not getting it done for our starting shooting guard. And my fear is that he will continue to not score enough points for us to justify him being the starting shooting guard when we have Buddy Hield coming off of the bench and filling it up with 32 points. And Buddy hitting 5 of 11 from 3, which gave him 45% from 3. And him shooting 5 of 6 from the free throw, landing with 83% free throw percentage total. Buddy Hield also had a block, which is a very big block, gave the team a lot of energy. As CJ McCollum was trying to penetrate and go up, Buddy said, not on my watch. It's good to see Buddy dig into defense and end up getting a very convincing, very solid block on one of the most lethal scorers in the league, CJ McCollum, although very underrated, but people know his name for a reason. 3 turnovers for Buddy. Davion Mitchell played 30 minutes. Davion shot a 3 and missed it. So that is tanking his 3-point percentage, which I have been critical of, and we have an eye on currently right now, because that thing has been steadily declining also, which is also tanking the 3-point percentage of our whole entire team when your 3 guards are not shooting it well enough from beyond the arc. 4 of 6 from the free throw line, putting him at 66%, which is not good. He did have 3 assists, which we like to see. Overall, ended up with 16 points. Though the shot from 3 is not falling and he's not taking as many of them in this game, and it is hurting us overall. What is continually encouraging to see is that Davion Mitchell is having success scoring in the paint. He has a very quick first step. He is fast defenders, getting him on the backside of his hip, on the buttock, if you will. And then when it comes to bigs, he's got this one-arm gather go up quick that he won't get called for fouls a lot because he's not up in the air enough to get foul calls, especially for him. Bigs just really have to get vertical. If they just anticipate it in time, then they can get a clean block on him. But he is going up so fast, and he's going up kind of around their blocking arm and getting that thing in the hole. And we absolutely need more points in the paint from our guards. This is the exact type of attacking the paint that we need from Tyrese and from Fox. And right now I'm seeing Davion have, a good stretch of success with it in this game. And I just wanted to applaud that. What I love about him going up is he's not trying to draw fouls. He is going for the bucket. And that's how refs are calling things this year with these new rule changes. So this is his first year, so he didn't really have to learn it too much, and it was already what he was doing in college anyway. He wasn't really a go for the foul type of guy. He was more of a go for the bucket type of guy. But Fox learned how to go for the foul, and now he's having to get out of those bad habits. It's making him a little less effective directly at the cup, only slightly, but enough to hurt us overall. But I do believe that Fox is starting to shake that off. I see it in Fox's game over the last, I want to say 2 games. He's going at the cup more and going for the bucket more instead of going to draw the foul more, because going to draw the foul is not getting the calls as much these days as just going for the bucket. Plus, Fox just got the strength these days now to absorb contact and have success with just going at the bucket. So his attacking is starting to transition into the type of paint attacks that will be successful going forward. I wanted to praise Daveon for that, and I wanted to praise Fox for starting to make that shift. And Marvin Bagley, 18 minutes. Marvin came in, shot 3 3-pointers, hit 2 of them. One of them was the dagger to really put away the game, which was great to see for Marvin himself, for the bench cheering for him, and for the arena to cheer for Marvin Bagley. It's good when we're behind our guys. It's good when our guys are behind their teams, and moments like this bring us together, and this is where being a Kings fan feels better. It doesn't feel good to have to talk negatively about Marvin Bagley. It doesn't feel good to, unnecessarily and overly talk bad about Marvin Bagley. It doesn't feel good when Marvin Bagley is making disparaging actions towards the Sacramento Kings and talking about it on his podcast or doing things on social media. When things are going well, even if we're going to trade him, or if we can't even find a suitable enough trade partner to keep him, and the moves that they're making make his qualifying offer, so we re-sign him back up and continue to develop this number 2 pick that we don't get a hell of a lot of, almost never. These moments are sweet. I will savor them, though they may be few and far in between. I would like to see them occur more and more and more. So overall, it was something to praise. It felt good for everybody. It was the dagger to put the game away. It was a dagger to break our 4-game losing streak. It was a dagger that brought everybody together. And at that point, at that sweet moment, there was no Bagley's camp, Fox's camp, Fox's dad saying this. There was none of that. I saw Fox go give him props. I saw Buddy be happy for him. Buddy saying very encouraging things about him in Buddy Hield's post-game interview. Buddy saying very, very good things about Damian Jones and how Davion Jones in his 18 minutes came out and played with a lot of energy. He ended up scoring 9 points. He didn't shoot threes this time around, but he was attacking the cup. And even though Nasir Little got that block on him, I think Damian Jones caught like 2 bodies in this game, at least one very big body that was nice, very, very nice, a lot of energy. He comes in the game and he stays ready in this time. He also pulled down 5 rebounds. Bagley ended with 10 and 8. Damian Jones ended with 9 points and 5 rebounds. For the Sacramento Kings as a whole, it was just a really great game to see. So that was awesome. Terrence Davis didn't play. Lewis King didn't play. Chimezie Metu did not play in this game. And, of course, Richaun Holmes did not play due to injury. Harrison Barnes also left the game early with a foot injury. And so he and Richaun are both still questionable for this game coming up. And I do want to point out Darren Fox got a technical foul for jawing at the ref, continued to jaw at the ref. The ref gave him an opportunity, said, hey, walk away. He gave him an opportunity to stay in the game. Davion had come over there, and I think one other Kings player came over there to pull Fox away because Fox was just jawing and yapping and yapping and yapping. And finally, that referee teed him up for the second one and ejected him. Fox was ejected out of the game. This was with like 4 minutes left in the game, either 4 or 6 minutes left in the game. Basically, we were in the clutch. Terrible decision by Darren Fox. Low IQ move. He was very emotional about something that did not matter as much as getting the W. Everybody has feelings and emotions. These are real people today. I understand that, but we all have a job to do. And at the end of the day, you make the right choice to help out your team or you don't. Fox made a bad choice by continuing to yap at the ref after he already got the technical, which means you got the ref's attention. If they teed you up, you got their attention. They're hearing you. Even if they don't like what they're hearing, you as a player want to be heard. Them as a ref, they've heard you. Now, if you continue to yap and jaw after that, you at this point are just taking yourself out of the game and making yourself less effective. So that's why Fox got capped off at 23 minutes. And he would have scored. I would say with the way that Fox was playing, Fox probably would have ended with 27 points. I say he would have scored at least another 6 points, at least in that time. I personally believe, and which would have put him closer to where we want to see Fox ending. But when you do low IQ things like this, when you let your emotions get the best of you, instead of focusing on snapping a 4-game losing streak, this is what happens. But in that time, Davion Mitchell got to shine. Tyrese Halliburton got to shine, so them collectively together were able to come together and pull off the W to secure the to secure the victory. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. You Simmons summoners right now. See Tyrese and Halliburton alone, man. They can get it done, and then we put Simmons at the 4. I hear y'all. And ain't nothing gonna change. It's not gonna change my mind. It's still the same thing. I see the game overall for what it actually is, and not what us as brokenhearted Kings fans would dream for it to be. You can continue to wish, because I'll put it to you like this: even if the Kings did trade for Simmons for whatever reason, and I believe there's a reason why they haven't yet. You got to remember, Monty McNair and Daryl Morey know each other intimately. They worked together for 12 years, 11 years, 12 years. There's a reason why that deal hasn't happened, okay? And there's a reason why I don't believe the deal will happen. But even if you did all that, he's not going to play the 4. You think Ben Simmons will not go play the 4 for Golden State, okay? He wouldn't even want to play the 4 for Golden State. He damn sure ain't going to come here and play the 4, all right? Even if we traded for him. If we traded for him, Tyrese Halliburton is a bench player. Davion Mitchell is a bench player, and Tyrese Halliburton stays at the shooting guard spot. And boy, oh boy, with how everybody is not shooting the 3 good now, we would just suffer. Our offense would be horrible. And we couldn't play. And as good as defense as we would play, we couldn't play defense good enough to stop half better teams from really exploiting us, because we still have an undersized center. And we still have just collectively a team that is not experienced with playing good defense. Now that I've given the whole Ben Simmons conversation 3 minutes of air, let's move on to look at the Kings, how they're doing overall. 7-12 right now, which bumps us up 1 spot and puts us at the 11th spot in the West. We've gone down from being 13th in the league with averaging was 108 to going up 3 spots back to 10th because we're 109.9. So again, that whole number is still, there's so many teams that are so close around that 111 to 107 mark, just those 4 points. So expect to continue to see us fluctuate quite a bit there. Rebounding, we're 22nd in the league, so we're still terrible at rebounding. Assists, we're 23rd in the league, so we're still not moving the ball enough. And we're moving the ball more too. Really, it's finishing that possession and knocking down that shot. That's what's really hurting us. We're not knocking down the shots that we're getting. So it's equating to less assists for everybody, and it brings the whole team's assists per game down. So ball movement has been better for the Kings. It's still not as good as it needs to be, but it's markedly better. But got to finish your breakfast, as they say. And then defensive rating, opponents points per game, we're still 26th. So still bottom third of the league. Like I said, we're not going to make a big jump. Significant improvement would be for us to get to 21st in the league. Even if we're at 22nd in the league, then we're doing better. If we get around 18th, then we're probably, a 500 team. Hell, if we get to 21, we're probably a 500 team. If we are at 20, if we're at 19, 18, then we probably have a winning record. We're probably a game or 2 above 500. So that's something to look out for. Fox Watch. Since Fox got himself ejected out of that game and did not score more points, he's at 19.9. He is not averaging 20 points per game or more right now, after having the previous season where, if you look where my arrow is, he was averaging 25.2. So that's a problem. And his 3-point percentage, I think he had gotten it up to 25. Now it dipped a little bit below that to 24.7. But overall, that's going to be coming up. And as of right now, since he started hitting more free throws, still not enough, but hitting more, he is currently at 72.1. So we want to see that get to 75, 77. Even still, that's too low, but we're not looking for huge change overnight. It's not realistic. So if he could just get to 75 to 77, that'd be fantastic increase, because that would be 5 to 6% better than last season, and that would definitely be 5% better than his best season, which was his rookie year. His sophomore year, shooting 72.7 from the free throw line. Reese Watch. So he's averaging 12 points per game as your starting shooting guard right now. Not good. Not good. Matter of fact, bad. Bad. That's bad. As far as his 3-point percentage, which you're keeping an eye on, somehow it stayed exactly the same, 37.7%. I don't get that, because he shot worse this game, and that's what it was the previous game, but whatever. And also 80% for Reese. That's a passing grade. Damn. I mean, he finished the year last year with 85.7, so basically 86. Right now, he's only shooting 80. I'll tell you one thing. The shot gets up, and when it goes in, it looks really good. But I was looking at his free throw shooting form, and he does not use his legs at all. Like, he shoots his free throws like a big does. Like, you know, those bigs that don't bend their knees to have like a one fluid shot to get all their body into it, like to get like a better rhythm. He just shoots it like that little. I don't know how sustainable that's going to be. It's not good. Shooting it better than Fox. I know a lot of you guys are saying, oh, it was better than Fox. Yeah, well, it's not a high bar, is it? It's a low standard, yo. Daveon Watch, averaging 9 points right now. Not good. As one of our guards, not good. Free throw percentage, oh, Lord Jesus, he's shooting worse than Fox. He's shooting 61% from the free throw strike. Good Lord. And then 3-point percentage, 26%. You mean to tell, I know you guys are, Davion's a winner. He's won everywhere he's gone. Look, I was telling my boy Oliver, I was like, look, you can win. Everybody that got to the NBA is a winner on some level, because they got to the NBA. This is the best of the best, but you ain't a true winner until you win at the NBA level. Okay, we had Justin Jackson, who I went to church with, and I love the man. He's a great guy. Justin Jackson won, NCAA championship, was a leader on that team, and I think he got NCAA Player of the Year. He got or ACC Player of the Year. He got some Player of the Year award. He's not even in the league right now. He's in the G League, okay? So you can win everywhere. Most of these guys are winners somewhere, but when you get to the NBA, it's a different game. This is the best of the best of the best. Think of how many college teams are there just in the United States. How many college teams are there? Okay, like over 1,000. There's only 30 NBA teams. Only 30. So you really filter it down to the best players in the world, and we see people come in the NBA and be duds. But these are the best. So until you win here, it don't matter. I don't care where you were a winner everywhere else and you don't like to lose. And I mean, wake up call. This is the Sacramento Kings, where we are not winners. Okay. So what the Kings need? The Kings don't need winners. It would be nice to have winners, but the Kings don't need winners. The Kings need performers. The Kings need guys that'll come in and perform their duty and just do what needs to be done consistently, because that will build winning culture. That will make you a winner. But you in the NBA now. So you ain't a winner unless you won in the NBA. And newsflash, when you come to the Kings, you got to be a performer, because because whatever winner you were, you ain't doing it here until things turn around here. That's the reality of the situation of the Sacramento Kings. It's deep. It's deep. We got deep-rooted horribleness here. 15 years of it. So it's going to take more than a guy that just came out of college, you know what I mean, to just turn things around. These performances that Daveon is giving is not starter-worthy performances. It's just not. You can't. You like. I don't want starting point guard who only shoots 60% with the time that we've given him from the free throw line and 26% from three with the time that we've given him as a free throw line. Will he get better? I expect him to get better. I'm rooting for him to get better. When he gets better, we get better. I want Daveon to get better. I love his defensive tenacity. I love his fight. He's a dog. He ain't performing right now. And you can make up all the excuses that you want to for him. But the only thing that we're going to agree on is that I think it'll get better in the future. But until it does, it's only thoughts. It doesn't live beyond our brains. It doesn't live in the material world. In the material world, you can take a look at it right here. 60% from the free throw line and 26% from three. Same thing for Fox. And Tyrese Halliburton is on the decline. These three guys need to perform. And these three guys' lack of performance is a big part of the reason why the Sacramento Kings remain a losing team with a losing record. Let's preview the next game. Oh, before we preview the next game, let me put a bow on this one. I'm gonna put a bow on this one. Your boy Skip gonna come and put a bow on this one. All right, hold up. Let me give you a close up of the mug. All right. 31 minutes. I've been talking a lot, but it's important. Okay, this Sacramento Kings win was important because it broke a 4-game losing streak. It was important because it gave the guys confidence. It did happen against a very solid team. And the Portland Trail Blazers, Dame Lillard was still as dangerous as ever, even though the shot wasn't completely dropping as much. Dame Lillard was getting to the cup very nicely. Darren Fox had his hands full. Anybody who's guarding Dame that night has their hands full. I was having an interaction with someone. I think his name is King Swiper. So King Swiper, shout out to you. Look at you. You get the spotlight. Welcome. I'll send you the link after so you can see me talking about what we talked about. But I had an interaction with a person because I saw on multiple occasions. I saw two things. I saw quite a few possessions where De'Aaron Fox was doing his best to stay in front of Dame Lillard and even made Dame cough up the ball a few times. I saw more possessions where Fox was given some sort of effort and just getting taken out of the play by Yusuf Nurkic or another big setting a very solid screen. And then Fox, is taken out of the play. So at that point, it's a whole switch situation and, not a whole lot that you could do about that when someone sets a good screen for you and you're a guard, just starting to come into your body and build muscle. But I saw quite a few plays, at least 4 that I can remember, where De'Aaron Fox just literally, as quick and as hard as Dame is, we call Fox one of the fastest guys in the league with the ball. So that means he ain't slow without it. And I saw him just literally let Dame go by. Didn't give much of an effort after, didn't call it out, didn't communicate on defense, and then, try to pick up, the big or the next available man as we switch. I basically just saw De'Aaron Fox not just give up on guarding Dame Lillard. I saw him give up on playing defense and give up on the team's defense as a whole. And like I said, if you go and you look at the defensive ratings for guards last year, Fox and Tyrese Halliburton ended up in the bottom of the bottom of the league of starting point guards defensive rating. It was horrible. They were some of the worst, and it's well documented. You can go and look. I think there was an article I saw from Sacktown Royalty that talked about it. I think there was a ABC article that I saw that talked about it as well. But it was documented how poorly De'Aaron Fox was doing on defense last season, and he's carried a good amount of that over into this season. He's like, we talk about how he's not as much of a vocal leader. He's gotten better, but he's still not much of a vocal leader. He leads by example. Well, that's a piss poor example. If the leader of your team is leading by playing so-so defense, like Russell Westbrook really picking and choosing when he wants to play defense, then that's the lead that the rest of the team is going to follow. That's not acceptable. That's bad. And will continue to be bad. So I wouldn't make excuses for that if you're a Kings fan. Now, if you're just a De'Aaron Fox fan and you don't give a damn about the Sacramento Kings, then you can go right ahead and you can stick up for Fox and make that case and all that. I think it's weird to deny the truth that's right in front of you because you like somebody so much. That's like, you're so emotionally invested in this person that you can't see past the truth. The only time I think that's even remotely acceptable is if that's your child or like some very extremely close family member. And even then, I think it's important to acknowledge the truth while still defending them because you love them and you don't want to see them, whatever's going to happen to them. You don't want to see people talk bad about them or this, that, and the third, whatever. But at the same time, like if my child turns in a bad report card and I have to go and talk to the teacher, I don't tell the teacher, no, she it should have been a good report card because she turned in all her homework and she got this grade on all her tests. And woo, 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 woo. I think you're misreading the answers that she gave in the test. Like, what the hell? What? I know that it's been a rough go for the last 15 years for us as Kings fans, but please do your best to not dip into delusion, okay? Call a spade. When Fox has a fantastic defensive possession, let's call that out and let's encourage him. When Fox has a fantastic defensive half, let's call that out and let's encourage him. When Fox has a great defensive game, let's call that out and let's encourage him. But when he has piss poor ones, why are we going to pat him on the ass and call it good? So we encourage more bad performance so we continue to let run up the score on us so we continue to lose? Sacramento Kings fans, don't get to that point. Want to win. Demand good performances from these Kings. We've already gotten Luke Walton out of here because we were vocal about the right things because we acknowledged it. Acknowledge the bad things that Luke Walton did. We called him out. He got out of here. Acknowledge the bad things that DeAaron Fox does. Call it out so he can be elevated. I like Fox. I have Fox jerseys. I'm rooting for Fox. I want him to do good. I want him to do great. I want him to be the best point guard in the NBA. But he's not going to get there if I tell him he's already that, but he's not. And I tell him he has good defensive possessions, but he doesn't. And I chalk it up to how good Dame Lillard is. Instead of the combination of Dame Lillard played good, but Darren Fox did not play great defense on him. Didn't even play good defense on him. He played and to below defense on him. Call that out. It's okay to be honest and tell the truth, but it's very bad to be dishonest and to find someone's tweet, especially when I'm not adding you, find someone's tweet and then take issue with them and then lie about the facts that are presented. Sacramento Kings fans, it's good that we disagree. It's great when we agree, but what's not good is denying facts and then lying about it and being disingenuous. When you do that, you're just a stan. That's a bad look. It's cringy. Don't be cringe. Not all the time. Sometimes. Our team is cringe enough. Anywho. Sacramento Kings playing the Los Angeles Lakers. Our very favorite team to play. Our rivals. We haven't been rivals with them for over 10 years. It's just our purpose to live. Something that gives us a reason to yell a little louder and cheer a little harder. We're not the Los Angeles Lakers rivals. We're nowhere near on their level. Let's keep that in mind, but at the same time, have fun with it. Why not? Here we are. So, LeBron looks to build on the momentum in visit to Kings. But the thing is, we're actually playing them, so he's not visiting us. We're visiting Bron. I don't even know what their last few games look like, but I can take a look. I guess we'll just go to Yahoo for this one. Yeehaw. And then we'll wrap it up. So, Los Angeles Lakers. Let's take a look at the Lakers. Let's look at their stats. Here we go. No, I just want to see the last one. No, I don't need full standings. Schedule, wow. All right, so it's looking like in their last 5 games, they lost to Milwaukee, lost to Boston, beat Detroit, lost to New York, and then beat on the road. So then they play us at home. And we actually play them twice within the span of the week, the span of 5 days. So or 4 days. We play them in Los Angeles on the 26th. And then they play us in Sacramento on Tuesday the 30th. So just in a few days. I mean, yeah, Bron's back. They haven't been doing so great. If we look at the overall standings, which I wish I could be putting on the screen for you, but you'll just have to trust me. So as of right now, they are 9th in the NBA, and we are 11th in the NBA. And we are one game above Oklahoma City. We are right above the Denver Nuggets, who are 500 at 9-9. Lakers are 500 at 10-10. Minnesota got back to 500. I'll be damned. That's exactly what we didn't want to see. Minnesota got back to 500 at 9-9. Memphis is at 500 with 9-9. And Portland is at 6th spot with 10-9. And then it goes on up for there. Dallas is in the 4th spot. Clippers are in the 5th spot. Utah's in the 3rd spot. Golden State's got the number 1 spot. And Phoenix is right behind them with just a two game difference. But yeah, or I guess technically a full game difference if we go by what it says here. But anywho, oh my Lord Jesus. Yeah, we're at the bottom of the West with Oklahoma City, San Antonio, New Orleans, and Houston. People in the play-in are Denver, Lakers, Minnesota, and Memphis. Not looking good. If we don't have Harrison, I'm just telling you right now, if we just not having Harrison Barnes alone, if we don't have Harrison, we lose this game. If we have Harrison, we have a chance to win. But that's it. Because there's nobody else that can put a body on Bron that's going to, I mean, and we don't have enough of a committee. We just don't have the wing depth for it. So even though Bron's coming back from injury and all that stuff, still trying to get his back straight, it's a bad look. Anywho, that's that. That's how it's looking for the next game. Your boy Skip, a.k.a. Skippertai, signing off here. Tabo Wohana gaming chairs, office desk chairs, up to 45% off of select chairs. Skip TC gets you additional $40 after that. Go. Got it wrong again. Computer Booter, if you need gaming lounge to hang out in, retro games, modern gaming consoles, PC games. If you need an electronic repair shop, consoles, PCs, Macs. I took a musical audio interface there, and Dave took care of that too. We will be covering the next game, of course. I had planned on doing a breakdown every 10 games of the Sacramento Kings, and maybe I will do that still. I have it set up for the first 10 games, and I could knock out the second 10, but this team was just annoying me so much with their losing streaks. I was like, I shouldn't give them any more time than that. But y'all deserve my time, so I may be able to invest my time in that. But I got some personal projects that I got to finish up before I can consider doing that. Other than that, y'all stay golden as always. It's your boy Skip, a.k.a. Skippertai, signing off, and we'll see you next time. Peace.